Nicholas Harper was a successful businessman who owned a chain of convenience stores across America. Despite his busy schedule, he always aimed to ensure that his employees were treated fairly. Recently, rumors about employee mistreatment, low morale, and unfair wages had reached him. Rather than just sitting behind his desk, Nicholas decided to go undercover to see the reality for himself. Donning a janitor's uniform, he became Jordan, the invisible cleaning staff in his store. From the moment he stepped into the store, Nicholas felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. He was about to uncover the truth about his own business, but he was also nervous about what he might find. In the first few days, he observed the work environment. Most employees appeared tired but were not overly unhappy. They greeted each other with friendly banter and shared laughs during their breaks. However, there was one employee who caught his attention, Lisa. Lisa was a whirlwind of energy and determination. She managed the register with patience and grace, even when customers were irritable and demanding. Nicholas couldn't help but admire her work ethic. She was often the first to arrive and the last to leave. Yet, there was something else about her that intrigued him. After every shift, Lisa rushed out of the store without a word, never stopping to eat or socialize with her co-workers. It was as if she carried a heavy weight on her shoulders, and Nicholas was determined to understand why. Curiosity gnawed at him, prompting him to follow her one night after work. As Lisa walked quickly through a neighborhood that had seen better days, Nicholas felt a mixture of concern and guilt. He was her boss yet remained unseen, a shadow in her life. When Lisa stopped in front of a worn-down building with a sign that read, "Haven Shelter," Nicholas's heart sank. He realized she was homeless. He watched as she entered the shelter, his mind racing. How could someone so dedicated end up in such dire circumstances? The image of Lisa's tired eyes and worn clothes haunted him. He couldn't shake the feeling that he had to do something to help her. Inside the shelter, Lisa transformed from a weary employee into a beacon of hope, serving food and offering kindness to those in need. Nicholas was in awe of her selflessness. An older volunteer named Howard noticed Nicholas's gaze. "She's been volunteering here for months," Howard explained, pointing toward Lisa. "Even after her shifts at the store, she donates part of her paycheck to help others." Nicholas felt a mixture of admiration and heartbreak. How could someone with so little give so much? Howard explained that Lisa had lost her mother to cancer, draining her savings for medical bills and leaving her without a home. Despite her struggles, she refused to accept charity, choosing instead to work hard for her own way out. Determined to help her without compromising her pride, Nicholas started small. He began leaving sandwiches and water in the break room, pretending not to notice when Lisa took them. Slowly, they developed a rapport. He noticed her smile more often, even shared a laugh or two. Nicholas found himself looking forward to their interactions, feeling a sense of warmth and connection that he hadn't anticipated. During one of their shifts, Nicholas decided to bring up a potential opening for an assistant manager. "You know, management has been discussing hiring someone to train new employees," he said casually. "I think you'd be perfect for it." Lisa looked skeptical, raising an eyebrow. "Me? Why would they consider me?" "Because you're already doing half the manager's job," he encouraged. She laughed softly but shook her head. "I don't think I'm cut out for that." Nicholas could see the flicker of hope in her eyes, and he knew she had the potential to shine. One night, as Nicholas followed Lisa to the shelter, he witnessed a man stepping out from the shadows and confronting her. Nicholas's heart raced as he moved closer, ready to intervene. The man, Eric, was Lisa's ex-boyfriend, and it was clear he had bad intentions. Nicholas shouted for him to leave her alone, and Eric backed off, but not without a menacing warning. Afterward, Lisa was visibly shaken. "You shouldn't have interfered," she said, tears brimming in her eyes. Nicholas took a deep breath, stepping closer. "I won't let him hurt you. You're not alone anymore." Nicholas began to look into Eric, hiring a private investigator to find out more about his past. He discovered a history of violence and intimidation that made Nicholas's blood boil. He also sought legal help to obtain a restraining order for Lisa. Despite the danger, he remained supportive, encouraging her to apply for the assistant manager position. Finally, after much contemplation, Lisa agreed to give it a shot. "I want to try," she said, determination shining in her eyes. Nicholas felt a wave of relief wash over him as they both recognized this was a turning point. Over the following weeks, Lisa flourished in her new role. She gained confidence, and her coworkers began to respect her leadership. Nicholas watched proudly from his office, knowing he had played a part in her transformation. Lisa was no longer the timid woman who rushed out of the store. She was becoming a leader, inspiring others with her work ethic and kindness. One day, Lisa proposed an idea that surprised Nicholas. "What if we partnered with the shelter to offer job training programs for people trying to get back on their feet?" she suggested. Nicholas didn't hesitate. "Absolutely. Let's make it happen." As they worked together to implement the program, Lisa's past began to fade, replaced by a bright future filled with possibilities. She was no longer just surviving, she was thriving. On a particularly quiet evening, as they locked up the store, Lisa turned to Nicholas. "You know, I still can't believe all of this is real." Nicholas smiled, his heart full. "It's real, Lisa. You built this." Their bond deepened, not just as employer and employee but as partners in a journey of resilience and hope. Yet, just as things seemed to be falling into place, Eric resurfaced. Nicholas received a call from his investigator, informing him that Eric had been spotted near the shelter again. Nicholas felt a surge of anger and concern. He couldn't let Lisa face this alone. That night, as Nicholas waited outside the shelter, he spotted Eric lurking in the shadows. He felt a rush of adrenaline as he approached. "What are you doing here?" Nicholas demanded, his voice steady. Eric smirked, but there was a glint of fear in his eyes. "You think you can just take her away from me?" Eric sneered. "She's mine." Nicholas stood his ground. "Not anymore. Back off." Before they could continue their confrontation, police sirens blared in the distance. Nicholas had called the authorities, and soon they arrived, apprehending Eric and taking him into custody. When Nicholas walked into the shelter afterward, he found Lisa looking anxious. "What happened?" she asked, her voice shaky. "He's gone," Nicholas reassured her. "For now." Tears streamed down Lisa's face. "I didn't ask for any of this," she said softly. Nicholas moved closer, wrapping his arms around her. "You're safe now. I promise." In the following days, the atmosphere at the store shifted. Lisa continued to show up for work, and Nicholas walked her to the shelter each night. Slowly, he saw her beginning to relax. The tension in her shoulders eased, and her laughter came more easily. Yet, Nicholas knew he couldn't keep hiding behind the facade of being just a janitor. He had to reveal his true identity soon. As he rehearsed the conversation in his mind, he felt a knot of anxiety tighten in his stomach. The day finally arrived when he could no longer delay the truth. He found Lisa sitting alone in the break room, her expression a mix of determination and uncertainty. "We need to talk," he said, taking a deep breath. Lisa crossed her arms defensively. "What's wrong?" "Nothing's wrong, but there's something I need to tell you," Nicholas began, his heart racing. "I haven't been completely honest with you." Lisa looked concerned. "About what?" "My name isn't Jordan," he said, forcing the words out. "It's Nicholas Harper. I'm the owner of this store and the entire chain." Lisa stared at him, eyes wide, as if she couldn't comprehend what he was saying. "You're joking." "I'm not," he insisted. "This was all a test. I went undercover to see how my stores were running and how my employees were treated." Her expression hardened. "A test? So I'm just some experiment to you?" "That's not it." Nicholas stepped closer, trying to bridge the gap between them. At first, I wanted to learn about the business. But then I saw you, how hard you work and how much you care about everyone else. I found out about the shelter, about Eric. I wanted to help. Lisa interrupted, her voice rising in anger. You thought you could just swoop in and save me? That I'd be grateful? I can't believe you lied to me. Nicholas felt his heart sink. I didn't want to lie to you. I just didn't know how to tell you the truth without scaring you away. You don't understand what it feels like to lose everything, Lisa shot back. You live in a world where money fixes everything, but that's not my world. Nicholas took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her words. You're right. I don't know what it's like to go through what you've been through. But I do understand loneliness, feeling like no one sees you or cares. I care about you, Lisa, more than you realize. Her fierce expression softened, revealing vulnerability. What do you want from me? She whispered. I want to give you a chance, a real chance to build the life you deserve, he said earnestly. Lisa's eyes narrowed again. I don't need your pity. It's not pity, he replied firmly. It's respect. You're the strongest person I've ever met, and I'm offering you a position as assistant manager. Stunned, Lisa blinked. You want me to be the assistant manager? Yes, Nicholas affirmed. You're smart, hardworking, and you already do more than half the manager's job anyway. You deserve more than stocking shelves and cleaning up messes. But what if I fail? Lisa asked, her voice trembling. You won't, Nicholas assured her. You've been holding everything together for so long. You're stronger than you think. For the first time, Lisa seemed to believe it. I need time to think. You don't have to decide right now, Nicholas said gently. Just know that I'm here for you. The next day, Lisa didn't show up for work. Nicholas checked his phone every 5 minutes, waiting for a call or text that never came. By the end of the day, he was pacing the store, anxiety gripping him. Just as he was about to leave, Lisa walked in, looking nervous but determined. I've been thinking about what you said, she began, her voice steady. Nicholas held his breath, hoping for the best. What did you decide? I want to try for the assistant manager job, she said, her determination shining through. Relief flooded over Nicholas like a wave. You won't regret it. I might, Lisa admitted honestly. But I'm tired of being scared. Good, Nicholas said, smiling. Because you have nothing to be scared of anymore. In the weeks that followed, Lisa began her training as assistant manager. Nicholas watched her grow into the role, gaining confidence with each passing day. She still flinched sometimes when someone raised their voice, but the fear faded a little more each time. Nicholas felt a sense of pride, knowing he had helped her reclaim her life. One evening, as they closed the store, Lisa hesitated. Do you ever feel like it's too much? She asked. Like you're in over your head? Every single day, Nicholas admitted with a smile. But here's the trick, you keep showing up anyway. Lisa laughed softly, her confidence growing. That's what I've been doing, and it's working. Nicholas nodded. You're already making changes around here that I never even thought of. Lisa tilted her head, curious. Like what? Like that new schedule rotation you suggested, he replied. Morale has gone up, and people are actually volunteering to cover shifts. But it's small, she said, a hint of doubt creeping in. You earned this, Lisa, Nicholas said firmly. Stop doubting yourself. Lisa nodded, but Nicholas could tell she was still holding on to some fear. A few days later, she surprised him by bringing up an idea during their afternoon meeting. What if we partnered with the shelter to offer job training programs or even part-time positions for people trying to get back on their feet? Nicholas didn't hesitate. Do it. Lisa's eyes widened in disbelief. Really? Absolutely, he replied. Put together a plan, and we'll roll it out next month." As Lisa worked late to finalize her proposal, Nicholas waited for her outside the shelter, leaning casually against a lamppost. "You didn't have to wait for me," she said as she approached. "I know," he replied with a smile, "but I wanted to." Side by side, they walked in comfortable silence. Finally, Lisa broke the quiet. "I still can't believe any of this is real." Nicholas glanced at her, his expression serious. "It's real, Lisa. You built this." Their bond deepened, evolving from employer and employee into partners in a shared journey. Yet, as they stood on the cusp of new beginnings, Nicholas knew that he would have to reveal his true identity soon. He felt a mix of excitement and apprehension, knowing that this revelation could change everything. After weeks of hard work and dedication, the day arrived when they would officially launch the partnership with the shelter. As they prepared for the announcement, Lisa's enthusiasm was palpable. "I can't believe we're finally doing this," she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Nicholas smiled, feeling a sense of pride swell in his chest. "You've worked so hard for this, and it's going to make a real difference." On the day of the launch, the store was buzzing with energy. Lisa stood at the front, ready to present their new initiative to the community. As she spoke passionately about the program, Nicholas watched her glow with confidence. "This is just the beginning," she said, her voice steady. "Together, we can help others find their way back to stability and success." The crowd erupted into applause, and Nicholas felt a surge of emotion. He had not only witnessed Lisa's transformation but had also been a part of it. They were more than just a boss and an employee, they were a team united by purpose and compassion. As the event concluded, Lisa turned to Nicholas, her eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself." Nicholas smiled back, feeling a warmth that filled his heart. "You did all the hard work. I just helped you see your potential." As they stepped outside, the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the store. Lisa paused, looking up at Nicholas. "You're not leaving, are you?" Nicholas shook his head. "Not a chance. I'm here for the long haul." With a sense of renewal and hope, they walked into the future together, not just as a janitor and an assistant manager, but as partners ready to build a better life for themselves and their community. They knew that their journey was just beginning, and together, they could overcome anything that lay ahead.